All right, let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Wh0r Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is the whore will be stoned and burnt. And pretty much what you look at in front of you is a video part of the Elder Apostle Tahar's video. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And pretty much what that, as I was listening to the apostle, he was going into adultery with these women being hoes, and it led into America, Babylon the Great. And it was going back and forth. And, he was speaking about the different punishments that, would befall prostitutes, adulteresses, because really that's what they are, adulteresses, that eventually become prostitutes. And pretty much there's two types of judgments in the scriptures. One of them is stoning, and the other one is burning. So it got me to thinking about America, as far as the stoning part, and I want to get a couple of precepts on that, because America is going to be burnt, or it's going to be stoned, and it's going to be burnt. So what I want to do is first start off in the book of Leviticus, right, 19, which this scripture is really dealing with the temple prostitutes, but you could use it, for these women out here that are prostituting themselves, because you're not supposed to do that, because we're a holy nation, and when you do that, you make yourself unholy, and that's how the nations operated. See, the nations didn't have, some of them had certain cultures where they wouldn't commit adultery amongst each other, but some of them didn't give a damn, so that was like a heathenistic mind state custom, So it says Leviticus 19 and 29, do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness, right? And when you go into that word prostitute, I'm pretty sure the word there is kodash, which means holy, which means the temple prostitutes. The prostitute part is, or whore part in certain cases is temple prostitute. The sodomite part in certain cases is the male temple prostitutes. All right, and they would have that. This was what the nations would do. They would have certain sexual rights or sexual performances that they would do for their particular gods. All right. So what would be the penalty for this? Let's go from there to Deuteronomy 22. What would be the penalty if a woman was a straight up hoe like they are today? What would be the penalty for that? Deuteronomy 22 and 21. I'm going to start at 20. This is dealing with the token of a woman's virginity. If and this is why the man, the husband, which is the father, he would lose sleep, because once the woman passed the flower of the age, she gets some hormones to start jumping, and he was stressed out because he know that these women would, abuse themselves. That's what the scriptures say, that at least they abuse themselves through overmuch liberty. So the thing that the father wanted to do was to pretty much marry his daughter off to, a man that was suitable, that would be able to take care of her, so he wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Have to worry about her, having her virginity taken, because that was a crime punishable by death. And you have to remember, this is the man's daughter, so he loves this girl. He loves her, so he doesn't want that to befall her. And he's stressed out. That's why it says they lose sleep, because you don't know what the hell these women are going to be doing. When those hormones start jumping and they get, that feeling, that itch down there that needs to be scratched. All right, so Deuteronomy 22 and 20 says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. Yeah, so this particular type would be by stoning. Now you have the particular whoredom or prostitute or adulteress, which eventually leads to prostitution. That if she was the daughter of a priest, all right, then the penalty would be even it would be by burning. Leviticus 21, and I'll start at 8. Thou shalt sanctify him therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy power. He shall be holy unto thee, for I the Lord which sanctify you am holy. Right, that's dealing with the high priest. Right, it says, and the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth the father, she shall be burnt with fire. So in certain cases they would be stoned, other cases they would be, caught on fire. In the case of Tamar, she, Judah wanted to burn her, I believe it was. Let me just go to that real quick. Genesis 38:24, and it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar thy daughter-in-law hath played the harlot, and also behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth and let her be burnt. See, so sometimes, and this wasn't a priest's daughter, you see. So sometimes you would have to burn the woman, sometimes they would stone her. So in the case of America, she's going to get stoned and burnt, for playing the harlot, for doing the things that she's done, and for enticing, other nations and people and languages, to do the same or commit the same acts. Now, what I want to go into is Revelation 16, because this is the scripture one of the scriptures that came to mind, and then a couple other ones came to mind for the stoning part. This is Revelation chapter 16, and let's see. I'll start at 17, and I'm just going to jump to the point after I read 17. And the seventh angel poured out his vial into the air. Seventh angel represents the final complete end of the time of prophecy, pretty much, for America, right? It says, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven from the throne, saying, it is done, meaning it is finished, right? And that, then, matter of fact, I'll read a little more. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, and that great earthquake was caused by what? By the missiles pelting down upon the ground, all right? And destroying all of America, from east to west, from north to south. It says, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. That's why the whole world is going to rock to and fro. There's going to be a lot of horror that's going to take place on this planet Earth. Even people that don't get hit by that fire, they're going to be, effed up, because they're going to be nervous from that great earthquake. Some people are just going to drop dead from anxiety, from stress, heart attacks, strokes, and whatever the case may be. And the great city was divided into 3 parts, which those of you that have been watching, that learned, the 3 parts is the 3 classifications of men: the sons of God, which are the Israelites; the sons of men, which are the nations; and the sons of the wicked, which are the Edomites. And the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High, to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Right, because right now there has been inquisition made of the Lord Yahweh by the prophets, as to what America has done and her crimes, against humanity, and especially against the Israelites. So now we're coming into the sentencing stage, because a woman wasn't just stoned to death if she was a whore, even if they caught her in the act of committing adultery or prostitution or whatever the case may be. They didn't just kill her You know, they brought it before the judges. The judges would, you know, have a council and have a, you know, a court, pretty much, to judge and to bring out the charges on this woman. And after they would bring out the sentence of the judgment, then they would go and bring it, you know, and bring forth the judgment. So that's what happened with America. She was told, she refused to listen, you know, and now we're at the point where the sentencing is going down, and then once the sentencing stage is over, then the Lord is going to bring the judgment upon America, and that's going to be stoning and burning. It says, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. And there fell upon, this is the main point right here, there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. That's dealing with the missiles. So the missiles are going to be part of that stone that's going to come and pelt down upon the soils of America. And men blasphemed the Most High because of the plague of the hail, for the plague thereof was exceeding great. Now another precept that came to mind was Revelation chapter 18, and we're going to go to the 20th verse. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. So when the time comes, we're going to be happy, you know, that the Lord is bringing forth this judgment. And that's why the elder Apostle Tara told the elder Apostle Gabar to put out the decree to, you know, for every brother out there and a few sisters that believe, to keep putting curses up on America, Babylon the Great, so that the Lord can take this place out and destroy it, you know. Verse 21, and a mighty angel took up a what? A stone, like a great millstone, right? And cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So the Lord is going to stone this place. And those stones are going to come by way of those missiles coming, pelting down, you know, with the lasers from the chariots, that fire that's going to come down and destroy this place. So it's going to be stoned and it's going to be burnt, right? Now let's go from there to the book of Daniel. All right, because Yahushua is coming back with Michael the archangel and the rest of the angels to do the Lord Yahweh's bidding. Right, so this is Daniel chapter 2, and let's see where I can start. So let's read 35, because this is the ending of the vision that Nebuchadnezzar had, which Daniel was breaking down to him. Daniel 2:35, then was his iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. Right, that's dealing with all of the empires, beginning with the Assyrio-Babylonian Empire and ending with the reincarnation of Rome, which is America. Okay, it says, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor, and the wind carried them away. Right, that's dealing with the destruction. That no place was found for them, right? Because this place will never ever be inhabited ever again. And the stone and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. So Yahushua is also that stone that's coming to stone the whore America, Babylon the Great, and also burn her with fire. Now when we jump down to the 40, I'll start at the 44th verse. Point is in 45. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. Right, and that's why, as the elder Apostle has mentioned, that the Bishop Nathaniel has not spoken about Gog and Magog anymore, which that's not even scriptural. All right, Gog is the people, the so-called Russians, and Magog is the land. It's not two separate nations. All right. So the kingdom, once the kingdom is established, is never going to be taken down ever again. And that let me read it again. For as much as thou sawest, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Right. And pretty much the Lord said that the saints shall take the kingdom, because the Lord is going to give us the kingdom. Verse 45, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that's dealing with Yahushua and the chariot, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, meaning that it took down all of these empires. It says, the great power hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, is going to stone and also burn America, Babylon the Great, that great whore, that great harlot, for committing these abominable acts. So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.